Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are here previewing the Beechcraft Duchess from Just Flight, which is due to release next week, actually, on the 30th of January. Big thank you to Just Flight for providing me with a copy of this aircraft and allowing me to preview it for you guys. That really means a lot. So big thank you to the guys over at Just Flight. Hey Dougal, how are you? Good to see you here. Right, so yeah, this aircraft does come out on the 30th of January on Tuesday. The price is £34. That is Great British pounds, which is actually quite a reasonable price for this aircraft, in my opinion. Now, it has been highlighted to me that this aircraft is essentially the Just Flight model from previous generations of the aircraft. And a lot of the work has also been done by Thrender Designs as well. So that's something that they did want me to highlight in the preview. But yeah, so first GA flight on the channel, which should be interesting. What I will do is brief the route we're doing today, but we will initially do a circuit, do some testing. So we'll test things like the stall and steep turns and things like that. We'll see how how the flight model performs in that sense. I have sort of been studying this aircraft and looking at videos to see how it performs in that sense. So hopefully we can get a pretty good idea of how accurate that is today here on stream. Additionally, just some more information about this aircraft. It is predominantly used as a trainer, twin engine, can be used for IFR as well. Trainer. It is a constant speed propeller aircraft, which is interesting. We can talk a bit more about that sort of during the cruise. So that that's makes flying it very interesting. What I did want to do is first also showcase some of the documentation that comes with the aircraft, because I'm actually very impressed with this documentation, essentially. So let me bring it up on my second monitor here. There we are. You guys should be able to see that there now. So if we have a look through this, there's three manuals that come with the aircraft. This is an EFB manual, as you can see there. And it basically just takes us through what every page in the EFB does. This is a brand new EFB that is coming to the aircraft. So we'll take a look through this ourselves. The manual is very, very useful though. The other one is an operations manual for the Duchess Model 76. And in here, there's so much information on virtually every aspect of the aircraft. I've used this document here to learn the aircraft, learn how to fly the aircraft, and I am going to be referring to it throughout the course of the stream as well, because I've only had about 24 hours of the aircraft, so I do still need to refer to this. But as you can see, there's some very nice information here. There is a section here of flying the Duchess, and it actually takes you through a, let me make that a bit bigger. It actually takes you through a whole flight here, a sort of test sector from Bournemouth to an airport. I can't remember which airport it is. But yeah, you depart from Bournemouth and it's basically within the UK. And this has been really useful. I have gone through this and taught myself the aircraft from this document. Next, hello E. Osman, how you doing? Also guys, so upon arrival, we'll be checking out a freeware scenery on the org that I just by chance downloaded and was very impressed by. So we'll be checking that out. Trenton, which is our arrival. We'll brief the routing in just a second. But I will be showing off that scenery as well. And E. Osman there in the chat is the developer of that scenery. So we'll take a look at that upon landing. Remember I told you I did my CFR2 in this plane? Oh no. Nightbot has deleted your chats, Carl. I can see them. I'll get that sorted in a second. I'm sorry, Carl. I don't know why it's done that. Nightbot is doing some weird auto moderation stuff. But thank you very much, Carl, for being here. You know what? Let me sort that out now. In the background, while we talk a little bit more about this plane. Because I can't have Nightbot getting rid of your chats like that. And I don't know why it's doing that. So just give me a second here, guys. Very, very sorry. If you didn't know, Carl is a very experienced real-world pilot, so it's great to have him here today. And he has got some hours in this aircraft as well, so that'll be great, especially when it comes to checking out the flight model and stuff like that. Now, if I go here, let me see. Yeah, the post just disappeared, didn't they? Let me just get this sorted very, very quickly here. Nightbot tends to do this to some users. It just deletes their chats and times you out, and it really shouldn't be. So let me get your channel link so I can add an exception within Nightbot. Again, my apologies, guys. Let me see if this will work here. I think it's the spam protection, essentially. I think it was the caps no critical engine thing, Carl. But hopefully that's better. Your posts seem to be staying now, so that's good. Anyway, I'm gonna say what Carl said because I know you guys can't see the chats, but I can. What is good about it? Answer: no critical engine. It's a forgiving twin engine plane to learn how to fly twins. Low stall speed, good useful load, decent speed. Yeah, exactly. But we'll take a look at the flight model after. And again, Carl, thank you very much for being here. Right, so how about I think we've gone through everything of the aircraft now, haven't we? So let's do this. Let's brief the route. So we are going from Linden here in the United States, just, well, very close to New York, actually. Newark is pretty close to here. I have turned traffic global off as well. Have you got an ETA when you'll be arriving at Trenton? I would say probably in about 45 minutes to an hour, Osman. But don't worry about it at all. The same things that make it a good platform to learn to fly twins means it's great to learn to instruct on them as well. Absolutely. That's some really great insight into the aircraft here. Thank you very much. Yeah, so let's take a look at the route here. We'll be flying from Linden, and it's a very simple route. We'll just be we're taking off runway 27 here. I do have live weather turned off because I want to show this aircraft off properly. And the weather here in New York is terrible. So we're going from Linden here, runway 27 departure, direct to Belts. And then we are essentially going here to Femview. And then it'll be a very slight right turn here into Trenton, a nice little GA field. And I believe Frontier actually fly here as well in some 320s. Reason I've added this VOR DME here to the flight plan in Narrowgraph is because I'm going to tune that in, and we'll track that as well, just to showcase that aspect of the aircraft. Great, Osman. Great to have you here. Yeah, exactly, Carl. And it's a short flight. So this flight isn't the one I'm doing isn't the one that is in the manual. That's Bournemouth to another airfield in the UK. This is just my own flight, which I found because I wanted to show off this freeware scenery as well. But it's also a pretty short flight, about half an hour. So let's take a look at the exterior model of the aircraft then. Let me do that so we can have a look at the aircraft. Hey Chris, great to have you here. Let's take a look at the exterior model of this aircraft, and I'll start telling you some of my thoughts about it. First things, textures on the exterior are very nice. I do want to say that this is a pre-release version of the aircraft. It may still have bugs. I've not personally found anything major at all. There's a couple of things I will talk about in just a second, but it seems very good. Just bear in mind this is a pre-release version of the aircraft. So external textures are very nice. I do very much like them. Oh, that's way too quick. There we are. Let's go back to the aircraft. And the external modeling is also very, very nice here. You can see we have all our lights here, and we'll check all the lights out as part of the startup sequence. There is some, ground stuff here. We've got chocks, tow bar, stuff like that. These liveries are interchangeable from the EFB. You don't need to go into the explain menu, which is very, very nice. And we'll also take a look at the EFB in detail in a second. But yeah, exterior module is very nice, as you can see here. One thing I did notice is we have the sort of push rods here. That's a very nice detail, nicely modeled, nice textures as well. Now my textures in X-Plane are set to medium, so they may be even sharper on some of your systems, but my system unfortunately won't run the textures at full resolution. But that's with any aircraft really. That's just my PC lacking a bit of VRAM really. But yeah, textures are very, very nice, as you can see here. The props are very nicely modeled. So are the engines. Lovely stuff. Let's take a look at the the exterior does look great, doesn't it, Chris? Let's take a look at the interior now. So interior modeling is very nice. I like the textures of the seats. We have all the good stuff back here. As you can see, so an oxygen bottle there. The doors do open, so very nice sounds. Let's get those open. Tito aircraft can be lighter as a design component, but the fuselage needs stiffening to prevent flutter. Just something to know about why there is a T-tail on this plane and some issues with those. However, the stall performance is a thing to watch out for. You're more likely to enter a deep stall with a T-tail. Yes, we actually learned about this in university when we did our aerodynamics module, and what I believe is the case is because when you're at that stall angle, essentially all that turbulent airflow that is going over the wings is going to end up going straight into the elevator, and you're going to lose authority over your pitch, and then that makes it harder to get out of that stall. I'm really liking what Just Flight are doing in recent years. Do we know if this was created in-house or by a third-party dev? So the model is Just Flight, and what I believe is the rest of the development is pretty much done by Thrander. So it's a joint venture between the two of them. You don't get the wind moving aft over the tail from the thrust of the engine. The tail can be blanked out by the wings. Yeah. Hey, Q8 Pilot is in their house. How are you, my friend? Great to have you here as we take a look at this Just Flight Duchess. So let's go back to the interior then and take a quick look. Modeling is very nice in here. I will say we have the EFB there that can be moved around. We'll go through that in just a second. But let's take a look at the panels here. All the gauges here, very, very nice. Nice reflections. We've got all the GPS and all that good stuff over here. That's a weather radar, I believe. We've got the autopilot. Circuit breakers, and they are modeled. So you can click on them to pull them out. So I'm gonna I don't wanna screw anything up, but we'll take a look at that at the end, because I'm afraid if I pull something out and push it back in, it'll maybe screw something up. But yeah, you can. They are modeled. As you can see here, the modeling, very, very nice. Emergency gear extension is modeled. However, I did notice there's no sound that plays. Yeah, seats, very nice. One slight improvement, I think, could be the interior textures here. They are nice. They are very nice, but as you tend to get a bit closer, which you might not do, I think the resolution could be slightly improved. Additionally, I do want to say that again, and just reiterate that my textures are only set to the medium setting, so it may just be my PC compressing the textures. But I'm just going to say what I think here about the aircraft. Other than that, these textures up here are very nice, I will say. And yeah, you're not going to be zooming in like this to the textures, are you, realistically? From here, they look great. Really, really nice. Yeah, I think that's it. If anyone wants me to take a look at anything specific, then do let me know. We do have a little sun visor here. Very, very nice. So what we're going to do now is let's close the doors. And as you can hear some nice sounds. The window here can be opened here at the front, but I also noticed that there's no sound with that. And when you have the engines running, the sound sort of doesn't change as you open and close this window, is something I've noticed. Minor, but can be addressed, I think. So we've briefed the route. Let's go ahead and start the aircraft then. I'm just going to refer to the document provided by Just Flight for starting this aircraft. Right. Get my tablet back here. Owen, good morning. Can you swap in the Reality GTN 750, please? I don't know. I don't have that. I don't think. Hello, Dominic. I taught my students to augment yaw with door opening if needed. It works. Amazing. Right. Actually, you know what? Before we start, let's take a look at the EFB. So, brand new EFB from Just Flight. And we'll go through it now. So you can open and close the doors from the EFB as well, as you can see. Or you can just click the handles there. Window reflections, you can turn the window reflections on and off, very nice, and same with the instrument reflections as well. Cockpit lights, you can turn them on and off, or you can turn them on and off here. Batteries is off right now, so that's not going to work. There you go. Or you can do it from the cockpit controls here. Right, ground equipment, you can toggle the ground equipment, which is all this good stuff out here, but you can just click it and get rid of it like that. Very, very nice. Very easy. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, I do have XP Realistic running. However, I have muted all the sounds. So all the sounds you hear are straight from the aircraft. I just wanted all the cockpit, you know, the camera stuff, the shaking and all that. But all the sounds are from the aircraft, not XP Realistic. Right, so you can also swap the pilots. This swaps the pilots between male and female. As you can see there, you can swap them. And as you can see, they've now swapped there. So, and all of this is explained in their documentation very, very nicely as well. You can switch your altimeter here between millibar and inches of mercury, as you can see there, which is very nice. Weight and balance. So here we can set our weight and balance. Now we can set fuel to full or half, and it does it instantly. So we'll just go full there. And if you hover over here, it says if you scroll, you are meant to be able to augment these, but it's not working for me. So maybe that's something they need to look at. It says you should be able to use your scroll wheel to augment these. Maybe I'm not on the correct click spot. But anyway, you can switch your units between pounds and kilos. Makes for a better eval of the plane, and it sounds no outside interference. Yes, absolutely. I wanted to show off just the airplane, and you know, I'm not showing off XP Realistic or anything like that today. This is pure Just Flight Duchess. in the real aircraft, you must not neglect weight and balance. So, as you can see, we've got a nice chart here of our weight and balance and all that good stuff. And like I said, you can switch between kilos and pounds. You can save and load configuration. Now you can also pop out everything here, so you can pop that out into a separate window, which is very nice. And to go home, you just click this home button here. It's forgiven to a point, but if you cock up the CG, you will exceed tail authority and end up grinning. Yes. This is why it is great having you here, Carl. Some great insight into this aircraft. Which makes it really helpful when, reviewing this aircraft. So that's weight and balance instrument options. So you can, these are just to pop out the devices. So there's a GNS 430 you can pop out, and the Sentry, what's that, Sentry 4 you can pop out as well. 4K aviation. How do you even enjoy XP12? It looks like FSX. I enjoy it. The flight model is miles ahead in my opinion, but we're not going to get into that. We're not here comparing simulators today. We're looking at the Just Flight Duchess. So engine config. So here what you can do, you can check all of this good stuff: your fuel pressure, oil temperature, battery voltage. Now if you do things like leave the battery on for a while, the battery will discharge. So you can recharge the battery, you can refill the fuel and the oil and everything here, essentially service the aircraft. And you can simulate the spark plug fouling and vapor lock, which is very, very cool. So this is where you can actually change deliveries and the dirt level here straight from the EFB, and it will update live on the exterior of the aircraft. So now when I do this, the X-plane will freeze and, well, hopefully not crash. X-plane will freeze for a bit, but it will come back to us. So we just got to wait a second and wait for that livery to change. These are static liveries. There it is, we're back, and there you see the livery has now changed. So very nice, no need to go into the X-plane menu to do that. And you know what, let's go back to the livery we're at. We can turn up the dirt level, why not? And we'll apply that. There are dynamic liveries, which we'll get into in just a second. That's very cool. And as you can see, here we are, back. So, static liveries configuration. Now, this is the Founder stuff here, the dyno fuel intensity. You can set the engine to running straight from here if you don't want to sit here and start the aircraft up. And you can change how light or heavy the aircraft feels. Now, they recommend to leave it at 100% since that's what the aircraft is tuned for, but you do have the option to change it as an, however you like it. So that's really nice, actually. Logbook, this just opens up the X-plane logbook. The checklist here, we will be going through this in a second, but this is a full checklist of the aircraft. Now, ground handling opens up the X-plane ground handling window. Now, dynamic livery, this you can essentially make your own livery within the EFB. Now, this does seem to work. However, for me, the pauses in between changes are, a minute or 2 minutes long. And once or twice it has crashed on me. So I'm not going to be doing it here on stream. I don't want the stream to, be paused for 2 or 3 minutes and then crash and all of that. But it does seem to work, and it's a very cool feature. If maybe the crashing is just for me, I don't know. Next, flight computer. So this will give us a bunch of really nice information, and you can change your units here as well. We'll take a look at this en route, and you can open Avitab here if you have Avitab installed. Frames on this aircraft are generally pretty good. It's GA, so it's not too taxing on the PC. As you can see, we're here, in New York. We got JFK, LaGuardia, Newark, all in pretty close by, and we're sat on, solid 60 FPS, which is very, very nice. So now we have gone through the this. Let's go through our pre-flight here and start the aircraft up. So, parking brake is set. That's down here, so we'll actually get that set. Avionics are off. Avionics switches are here, and they are off. Mixture idle cutoff, and they are idle cutoff. I am using my Honeycomb Bravo with the GA handles, which makes for a very nice pairing with this aircraft. Magnetos and start switches are off, as you can see. Battery switch can go on. Fuel gauge check quantity, we can see we are full on both sides there. Warning lights check. They are checked. Flaps check the operation. So this aircraft doesn't have like preset flap settings. It's variable. I don't know the exact name of this flap type. I'm sure someone in the chat will know. But as you can see there, you can set the flaps to any angle you want. With very nice sounds as well. It does sound good. So we'll set the flaps all the way down and then all the way up. So it looks like flaps on both sides are working there. Let's set them back up. And you just hold the lever up. There we are. So that's very nice. And like I said, I am just following the Just Flight document for this as well. So let's go back to the checklist. Flaps, we've checked that. Battery switch can now go off. Flight controls, check. So that's full left, full right. And if we go out here, you'll be able to see the tail moving there. Lovely. Trims neutral. So trims down here, we can check and they are neutral. Flaps, ailerons check. So you'd at this point walk around the aircraft and check everything. It doesn't have a walk around feature or anything like that. But if you did want to sort of simulate a walk around for yourself, you can do. Tie downs are removed. We did that earlier. Fuel tanks check level. So yeah, that's part of your walk around as well. Right. So let's double check all of this stuff. Right. So chocks removed, tow bar removed, oil check level. So that we can do, I think here, can't we? So if we click refill, that should all be good to go. Landing lights checked. So what we can do is turn the battery on, turn the landing lights on, go out here. And if we go, there you are. You can see the landing light is on. Very nice. Fin check condition, rudder check controls. So there's a rudder moving, as you can see. And tail cone check condition, again part of the walk around. Right, so let's do some more checks. Let me just take a look at the documentation. Right, so all the doors are closed. We can open this window here for engine start. We'll set the fuel on. There we are. Brakes are definitely set. Landing gear is down. Circuit breakers are in. Carb heat, which is just down here. That's off. If it was down, that would be on. Carb heat. Cow flaps open. So open down here. Fuel selectors are on. So that's what we've just done there. Light switches off. So we can turn that off. Battery and alternator switches off. So let's turn the alternator on now as well. Right, so we need to check that these alternator out lights are on, which they are. Now we're going to start the left engine first. So we'll move the left mixture there and the left propeller lever both to the full forward position. And we'll crank the left throttle there, battle courser, open. So that looks good. So switch on the auxiliary fuel pumps. Nice sounds. Turn on the nav lights. Now what we can do, we'll just go through this checklist. So we have done all of that. So now what we need to do to start the engines here, let me get rid of the yoke, is set the magneto to both, like that. And then what we're going to do is click here in the middle, and that'll prime the engine. And now we can just flick it over to start. There we are. She's alive. Right, so now what we want to do here is set the RPM to about 1,000, at least 1,000 at least. So let's pull the throttle back. So it's at 1,000 as a minimum. There we are, that's good to go. And what we also need to check is the starter light is off, and that our this is within the green band, which it is. And now we can essentially absolutely Dougal, nice sounds. Yep. Now let's do the right engine. So mixture fully forward, propeller fully forward. We'll crank the throttle slightly. There we are. Magnetos to both. Nope. To both. Okay, well we've started now anyway. We should have really primed it, but I moved the mouse way too far. And we can set those both to about 1,000, so we'll pull them back. And we can leave them there. What engines are they? Carl, do you know what engines they are? They are in the documentation. So let me take a quick look for you. Right. Scroll to the top of this documentation here. So 2 Lycoming 0360 4-cylinder horizontally opposed air-cooled piston engines is what engines they are. Absolutely Dougal, you're correct. 0360, yep. 180 horsepower at 2,700 RPM, and they are constant speed propellers as well. So, right. So both engines are now started, which is all of this good stuff here. Throttle 1,000, between 1,000 and 2,000, so actually we need to increase that slightly. Between 1,000 and 2,000. Oil pressure check, so that is just about within the green band there, and that's just to repeat for the other engine. Okay, so now we can turn the avionics on and program our flight plan here. So let's go here to flight plan. Right. Still just need to get used to this. Right, so from Linden we are going to Bouts, which is BAU TZ. That's what I had in my DR400. Oh, very nice, Dougal. So you're familiar with this engine then. Bouts, there you are. We'll add that. Then next we're going to FemView, which is Foxtrot, Echo, Foxtrot Echo Mike, FemView. There you are, FemView. So we'll enter that, and then we are going to Kilo Tango November. There you go, Trenton Mercer. Beautiful. Let's tune that VOR DME in, which had a frequency of, get this frequency here, 108.2. 108.2, and we'll set that in there. We can click CDI. We can click that there. We can turn the transponder on for now. And other than that, I think we're looking good. So 108.2 set. Most people do not know, but the Musketeer is a single-engine version of Beech that was made into the Duchess. This is why the plane is so ductile. It's basically a heavier 172 in terms of mass. Oh wow, really? I did not know that. Right, shall we get a bit of lighting in here? Just a little bit, not too much. Right, so let me refer back to the documentation. So we do need to set our course and heading here. So we're going to set our heading bug here to runway heading, which is 268. Right, so 268, just like that. And we're going to set this to 84. About there. Okay. We're not really using this for navigation today, but I do want to have it all tuned and that, so just to show you guys basically. I've seen this plane with Continental IO360 engines, basically the fuel injected version of the same panel plane. Oh wow. So I think we're good here on there. We can actually set this back to map. There we are, and we can put that down. So we will be doing a bit of a circuit first, and then we'll head on to Trenta, do some maneuvering. So Avionics was on, lights as required, and then this is just all for tax and stuff, so we can get all that checked. Check your documentation, make sure I haven't missed anything. And I think we're good to go, and we'll go to the holding point, which is just through here, and we'll basically just go and hold there. Off we go, and then we'll do all our engine checks and stuff when we get to the holding point. So yeah, like I said, if there's anything specific anyone would like to see of this aircraft, do let me know. We'll go over it. But my plan is to do some maneuvering, check out the flight model, and then we'll make our way up to Trenton. Right. Set the altimeter to 0, that's good there. It does taxi very nicely on the ground, nice ground physics. And so we'll just hold about here. Alright, set the parking brake. Right, so now let's go through these checks. So set the parking brake, and I'm reading here from the documentation. Set the parking brake and advance the left throttle lever to obtain 2200 RPM. So let's go ahead and do that. That's 2200 set. If the sounds are too loud, let me know. Right, so 2200 set, then we'll check the magnetos. So what we're looking for here is a slight RPM drop in the left engine. So we'll go to left. See that drop? Very, very subtle, but there was one. Both, and there it goes back up. And then we'll go to right. There's that drop again. And back up to both. Brilliant. Works just as it's meant to. So now we need to carry out the propeller check. Cycle the left propeller lever twice, moving it aft towards the low RPM position and then forward towards the high RPM position. And note the RPM drop on the tachometer. Reset the lever to the high RPM position. So, go back, forwards, back, there's another drop, and forwards. And we'll let that settle now. And then we're going to do this for the right engine as well. So that should settle back at around 2200, which it has beautifully. Okay, so we'll bring that left engine down now. Some dudes just dip the thing. I say all the way. The propeller? You mean the propeller lever? Yeah, you want the governor to move through its range of motion. Absolutely. I was watching a video on constant speed propellers last night. Very, very interesting stuff. We can talk more about that on route actually. It's very interesting. Right, so let's do the same for the right engine now. Set 2200. There we are. Let's check the magnetos now. So we're looking for a nice slight drop again. You don't want to figure out it has a travel limit in flight. Absolutely, yeah. So left, there's a slight drop. Go back to both and it goes back to 2200. Go right, there's the drop. And back up to both. Brilliant. We'll do the propeller check now. So all the way down, there's a drop, all the way back up, it rises, all the way back down, it drops again, and go back up and it should settle at 2200. What you're looking for here is usually signs of lead fouling, although a magneto failure itself would be evident as well. Yeah, would a magneto failings cause rough running, right? With the engine? Or would it just altogether fail? Anyway, let's bring the throttles back. We do need to do a carburetor heat check. So actually we'll take both engines up to 2200. 100 litres of fuel is what typically used, and while it says low lead, it actually has a lot of tetraethyl lead. Right, so you're damn right, run rough. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. See, this aircraft, I just absolutely love learning about GA. I've not flown GA much, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. Yeah, it'd be really noticeable. This is also useful for my PPL as well. So there we're back up to 2200. Now when I turn the carb heat on, we're looking for a slight RPM drop, according to the so there's a oh no, off. Sorry, on. There's a slight RPM drop, and it should return back to where it is. There we are. We can do the right. There's also a drop. You can just about see the needle dropping behind the other needle there. And back up. There we are. Amazing. And we'll go back down to idle. Right. So auxiliary pumps can go off, and we'll just check when we turn that off. We'll check that the fuel pressure still remains within the green band, which it has, and all our T's and P's here, temperatures and pressures, are looking good. Okay. Now we can run through the takeoff checklist. The biggest problem is that while it would feel like it was rough, you lose a lot of power, and that you will notice in flight. Oh yeah, I imagine you would. So we've done all of this good stuff here, and the vacuum is within limits. So we can go to the before takeoff checklist. Let's have a look at the documentation. Confirm that the battery and alternator switches are both set to on, which they are. Confirm that both fuel selectors are on, which they are. Check that the carb heat levers are set to off, which they are. And RPM levers and propeller levers are in high RPM, which they are, and mixture is full rich. Magnetos in both position. Confirm that all doors closed. We'll close this little hatch now. Now, I want you to listen to the sound. I would expect a slight change in the sound when this window is closed of the engine sounds, but unfortunately there isn't. As you can see, it just sort of stays the same. But it would be really nice if there's a slight, volume difference or something. Right, finally, switch on pitot heat and electric trim switches. And pitot heat on. Right, I think we're good to go. Let's go through this takeoff checklist, which I'm sure is the exact same. Yep, so we've done all of that. We'll check the controls in a second. Right. You can leave that open. Okay, you know what? I'll leave that open. Why not? It's 100% found to do so in real life. Okay, very cool. Let's do a quick control check. So, full left. Full right. Full down. Full up. Left rudder, right rummer. When you level off, that's when I close those, or leave them 5,000 or higher if I'm still climbing. Okay, brilliant. What we'll do is when we level off, we'll close that. Right, so let's disengage the parking brake. Nothing on the runway, so we'll taxi on in. And we'll make a right turn here. So yeah, I have to say I'm very much enjoying learning all this GA stuff. I did know a bit about it before, but in all honesty, most of my knowledge was in the airliners and IFR and stuff like that. So this was very, very interesting to learn. And things like the constant speed propellers, just learning how those things work with the governors and everything, as Carl was saying, I find very, very interesting. You want to know what I taught the students? Absolutely. What I was taught as well. Grab the yoke with your hand on the right, stick up your thumb, and that thumb will point to the aileron that is up. Ah, yes, absolutely. So because I fly RC aircraft, so I've kind of, in my head, I've got it down which aileron should be up and which aileron should be down. So in my head, I sort of know that, but that's a great technique. And yeah, you want to check that the you're not cabled backwards. So we'll make a quick turn here. Slow down just a little bit. Right, and we'll line ourselves back up here with the runway. Now, what I wanted to ask Carl is, let me set the parking brake. Here in the checklist it says flap set. On a paved runway such as this, would I use flaps for takeoff? Anyway, I think we're all good here. So we'll rotate at about 71 knots, which is right about here, about the 3 o'clock position. And then we'll climb at 85 knots, absolutely. He's a dentist. Had his plane back from manual, was a Mooney ovation, saved his life, he said. Yeah, brilliant. RG's first setting of flaps, yes. Low stall speed, easier to climb. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Carl. So we'll set that to 10. There you are. And as you can see, the flaps are now set to 10. So let's go ahead and take off. And our heading bug is here straight forwards. That's brilliant. We'll slowly advance the throttle levers. There we are. Try and keep center line. There's our rotation speed. We'll pull up there. Lovely. Gear can go up. Go for a quick flyby so you can hear the sounds. Okay. My key binding decides to work. Lovely sounds. Right, so we'll pitch for 85 knots. We'll get the trim. Sounds are excellent. I was very, very impressed. Very impressed. So we have drifted to the left here slightly. So let's get back on that heading. Bug. Climb here about 85 knots. And what we'll do is we'll climb up to about 1,000. I'm going to get it trimmed. Using the Honeycomb Bravo course, very nice for GA flying as well. So just trimming the aircraft now. And yeah, the flight model, it flies very nice. We'll do some maneuvers in a bit. But in my opinion, from what I know from the videos I have seen online, I think the flight model seems fairly accurate and it does fly very, very nicely. So what we can do now is set autopilot on there. If we turn that switch on first, there we are. Autopilot on. And that will hold that attitude now. We can set heading, so that will hold that heading. And we'll climb up to 5,000. So Carl, when would you retract the flaps here then? Above 300 foot? Does that sound about right? Now, okay, perfect. Thank you. So we'll set the flaps and we may have to retrim here, so we can actually just, sorry, not retrim, just reset this attitude here so we don't climb too fast. Through 400 to 500 or sooner. Okay, brilliant, thank you. So we were a bit late on the flap retraction there. So let's pitch up slightly. We'll get up here to about 5,000 and we'll start doing some maneuvers. Yeah, it is very nice. And when we when we cruise towards Trenton, we'll set all of our manifold pressure and our propeller levers and all that as required. For now, we'll leave it as it is. We are climbing quite fast, so we can probably pitch up a little bit more. Although we are getting here to... Oh yeah, it climbs very, very well. I'm just going to arrest the rate of descent there a little bit. And we'll get ready to click on the Alt button. There we are. And that will hold 5,000 now. 25 squared in cruise is what I use. So is that so 20 on the manifold pressure. So if we did 20 on the manifold pressure like that, and then set the propellers back to 25, like that, or 23 for good range, right? So you're saying something like that, 23 on the manifold pressure, right? Right, anyway, so let's go ahead and do some maneuvering then. 25 manifold pressure, 25 up, right, okay, so let's go 25 up there, on the manifold pressure then, and props are at 25. And basically, for those who don't know, to adjust this manifold pressure, I'm moving my main throttle levers, and to adjust this RPM here, I'm moving my propeller levers, like that. Okay, so when you say 25 and 23 squared, that's... Got you, Carl, thank you. So let's go ahead and do some maneuvers. I'm going to go props fully forward and bring the throttles back a little bit just for the maneuvering. Let's disconnect the autopilot. And we'll do a power off door. We'll just make a quick turn here to the left and head back towards the airport. Just fly very, very nice indeed. Not lose too much altitude here. And we'll do, first we'll do some stalls, I think. Okay. So, let's bring the power back. And we'll hold the attitude and wait for the stall. There's the stall. Very nice. Let it regain airspeed. Beautiful. That's exactly how I saw it react in the videos, and hopefully Carl can attest to the accuracy of that. Next, let's do a powered on stall. So I don't know, let's go something like this, 1500, 15 on the manifold pressure, just pitch up, bleed off that speed. See how it reacts here. Notice the nose broke cleaning down. Yes, absolutely. And holding the attitude here, yoke all the way back. There's the stall. We'll wait for the nose to drop. There it is. That is 100% what a real plane does. There is, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I think we can safely say, after doing a few more tests, that this aircraft does, the flight model is pretty realistic. So, shall we do some steep turns then? So I'm just going to get the aircraft trimmed out again. So, yes, use the rudder to maintain nose alignment. I should be doing coordinated turns, shouldn't I? But again, that's something that is modelled with this aircraft. So the adverse yaw effect is modelled. So if I was to roll to the left harshly, you'll see how the nose will go to the right, and I'm not going to make any rudder inputs. See how the nose goes to the right? Whereas now, if I roll left harshly but add a little bit of rudder input, I didn't do it amazingly there, and that's quite a steep turn, but there it is. Yeah, so that kind of stuff is modelled. I do need to work on my coordinated turns, that's for sure. So yeah, let's do steep turns. Aileron will make the wing dip like an air brake. So let's go ahead and do some steep turns here. Go to 40 degrees maybe, which is what, there? Okay, we can go 60. I believe that line there is 60. How's that car? We are losing altitude. We'll level off here. Do one left full 360 and roll out to the right, like an exam. Right, okay. You can trim that turret and maintain 60 and it will fly all day. That's it, okay. Right, so let's do a full 360 and roll out to the right. Right, okay. So, let's set our heading book here. Just for my own situational awareness. Check our altitude, we are still at 5,000, or well 5,850, so that's okay. Maintain altitude within 100 foot and we'll do a 60 degree bank turn. Okay, let's just give this a try. We'll add a bit more power, I think. And let's see if we can do this. First, steep turn. Actually, you know what? Let's do 20 degrees initially, and then we'll move up to 60. Okay. So we'll roll to the left. We are ascending a little bit. So I'm going to try and stay at around 5,000. So we'll get back down to 5,000 now. As we hold this turn here. Right. So there's 5,000. I'll pitch up a little bit to stop that descent there. Cool. Alright. So 90 more degrees to go. And we'll start rolling out now. I put way too much rudder in there. But there it is. So we go for 60 degrees then. PTS. What's PTS? Practical requires 40. Right, okay, so shall we go for 60 or something then? We'll send a little bit here. I'm just going to descend a little bit here. Get back to 5,000. And get back on the heading bug as well. Okay. Right. We can go for 60 degrees then. We'll just hold it there. So we're descending, or stalling. Yeah, airspeed is very slow. Adds a lot more power in. Yeah, I should have added power there. Yeah. And we can roll out here. And we dropped a little bit of altitude, but it's fine. Right. Okay, so I'm gonna turn left onto our track here and we'll make our way to Trenton, I think. It's 5 o'clock and hopefully I wanna be at Trenton and done because I wanna watch Kuwait Pilot stream. So let's make our way to Trenton. Yep, they were probably both fails, absolutely. I've never done anything, I've never done them in real life. I don't know what you're really meant to do. I'm just trying to showcase the aircraft on here. So, right. That should be fine there. We'll descend a little bit and then we'll set our cruise setting and everything. But thank you very much, guys. That was brilliant. If you want to see anything else, let me know. So I'm just going to set my heading bug here. So we can go heading. Sorry, heading. And alt is actually, that's okay. So now let's do 20. Shall we do 25 squared then? So it's at 25 on the manifold pressure there. And 25 on the props. There we are. And I'll set nav. There we are. So we should start making the left turn in just a second here. Awesome, that was brilliant. Yeah, so some things I definitely do need to practice on, but we'll worry about that when I start my real world training. Carl and I are actual pilots. Yeah. Hence why it's great having you guys here. And Dougal is a real world pilot as well. My instructor years ago was a NASA astronaut. Oh really, Carl? Wow, that is amazing. So, we didn't actually turn our lights on, did we? But I think we're good here. Let's go back to the checklist then. Aux pump can go off. Oh no, they were off before, weren't they? Mixture for rich throttles. Well, we've done all of this stuff. Oh, that's for climb, that's why. Cowl flaps as required. Right. So when it says cowl flaps as required, what am I doing with those? They are currently open. Should I be closing them, or how does that work? Yeah, it is harder with sim gear. I found that when I did some gliding that as much as you practice in the sim, it's just nowhere near what it is in real life. And I was actually found it easier in real life. It just seemed a bit more intuitive. That is brilliant. That's amazing, Carl. Yeah, it's in its 90 to the Apollos actually. Wow. One honour it is to know them. But yeah, I think sounds are brilliant, by the way. Light model is very nice. Textures are pretty good. Like I said, maybe a bit of improvement here on the panels if you really zoom in. But in all honesty, for what it's going to be used for, presumably people might be using it for training and stuff like that. I think it's very, very good. And for £35, it is quite cheap, in my opinion. Yeah, we are here cruising at 5,000 over at lovely New York. Beautiful. I do really like the look of this aircraft as well. Cruising now about 150 here. Yeah, it's a trainer, needs to show wear and tear. Absolutely, yeah, there is nice wear and tear here. It definitely, it looks old, which is very, very nice. As you can see, there's paint flaked off here and paint flaked off here and here. I presume that's some bit of rust there. They could add some glass over the gauges. I think there is. It's just the way the lighting is right now. But they did have some nice reflections earlier. If I maybe move, you'll be able to see the reflections there. So it's just the angle we're looking at it. But yeah, very nice, and I will be using this for my own personal training as well, now that some of you guys have attested to the accuracy of the flight model here. Yeah, the flat school that I'll be hopefully training at will be using PA-28s and 152s, or 172s is what I'll hopefully be training in. Zoom out here. I'm conceding now this has come alive, so that VOR DME we tuned earlier, we can see here, you know, our nautical miles, how far away we are from it and all that good stuff. Seven minutes away. What we can do is go here to the engine config. Hello Organ Aviator, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Many a flight to Conroe in Houston, I'd land DWH. Not the way we're so close enough to not be a bad drive. So that was the wrong page. It was the here. So as you can see here, we have all this information here. Ground speed, 161 knots, our endurance, our range, miles per gallon, I presume that's nautical miles per gallon, maybe standard miles per gallon that is, I'm not too sure. Altitude, pressurization altitude, true airspeed, full flow, headwind and crosswind component. We've got no wind, we're just on, we just set the weather in X-plane to calm. And our fuel use, and we can reset fuel burn as well and change the metrics. So very, very nice. I believe that is Trenton, so we are a bit high. Let's start our descent either way. Right. Looking at the documentation. So it says close both cowl flaps. Disengage the altitude hold mode. Switch on carb heat as well. Anyway, let's go to altitude and pitch down, and we'll go to 700 feet per minute and adjust power to maintain 110 knots. Right. Okay. So we should bring the power back here. We are high, so we'll probably make an orbit or something. Propeller levers to the high RPM position. Switch on the auxiliary fuel pumps, and we'll throttle down to maintain 110. So, push up slightly. So there's Trenton, and we'll be taking a look at that scenery upon landing as well. And we are landing on that runway. So the VOI is somewhere over there, roughly. And by the way, this auto tile comes with the scenery. It was pre-made. I didn't generate this auto tile, which was very, very welcome. Anyway, I think what we're gonna do is go to heading mode and make a left turn here. So let me remind myself of which one is heading. There it is. And we'll maintain this descent then. It's about 110 knots there. That's all good. Definitely should have started our descent earlier. And yeah, I seemed to fix the issue where OBS was causing stutters. It was indeed just a plugin I installed for OBS. So I got rid of that and we are looking silky smooth here in the Duchess. So we essentially do a little orbit. Actually, why don't we set ourselves up, since there's no wind, it doesn't actually really matter. We can set ourselves up for a downwind, can't we? So let's make a right turn. We'll set ourselves up for a downwind leg here as we descend into Trenton. So the run we're heading at Trenton is we'll be landing runway 06. So we'll want to be doing 24, which we are, with a downwind leg. What caused the stutters? Yeah, it was just an OBS plugin. I had a plugin installed which meant I could record my screen whilst I was streaming in vertical format for YouTube Shorts, and that seemed to be causing the stutter. So I've got rid of that and we are all good now. So there's Trenton, freeway airport, and when I checked it out I was so impressed. I was like, okay, I absolutely have to stream this. So we're just getting here down to 2,000. Grab your parachutes, very nice to see you here. So as you approach 2,000 foot, disengage your autopilot and reduce your airspeed to 90 knots and your descent rate to 500 feet per minute. So let's do that. We'll start slowing it down to 90. There we are, 500 feet per minute. We are slowly slowing down here. And we'll disengage the autopilot there as well. I'm going to set this heading bug for our base leg. But we'll stay on 2-4 for just a bit longer. But we'll keep descending here. Late was picking up the youngest from school. Absolutely no worries, grab your parachutes. We'll do a quick summary of what the aircraft is like at the end. I think what we'll do is we'll level off at 1,000. We'll maintain 90 knots and then we'll do our base leg. I go ahead and dirty up at this point. Okay, right, so we'll go for 10 degrees of flaps and we'll make this right turn then. I just need to check. It's 10 degrees, okay. Get a bit more power in there. No worries, Cole. I absolutely appreciate all this advice, because I am not very familiar with GA stuff and I'm trying to get the hang of it. So, very, very much appreciated. And same to all the rest of you guys. I know a lot of you here are GA flyers, so very much appreciated. There's 1,000 foot. Where's the runway? There's the runway. So you know what? Let's go for our next round of flaps. Let's see. And we're gonna get down. Just don't lug the engines. What does that mean? Does anyone know how to get rid of the otherwise effective reflectivity or whatever it's called in order to look shiny in the sun? Yeah, I have that issue as well and I don't really know how to get rid of it. I'm going to pull the power back here a bit. Last stage of flaps. Make your manifold pressure setting after your RPM. So do I bring the propeller levers back in that case then? Something like that? Oh no, way too much. So how's that? We need to come in at around 71 knots, so we do need to slow down a bit. Hey, Just Flight is here. Just in time for the landing here at Trenton. Right, okay, got you, Carl. So there's about 70 knots, so we're looking good there. Beautiful. Okay. Get this thing slowed down then. Yeah, Just Flight, I have to say the sounds on this aircraft are just beautiful. Alright, so let's see where we're gonna exit the aircraft, the runway here. We'll take this exit on the right. Get it slowed down. So yeah, I think Franda has done a lot of the stuff here, and the model is Just Flight. Alright, so let's go over to this ramp over here. Put the flaps up, and we'll go over the aircraft. We'll do a little summary and then take a look at the scenery too. But yeah, I do want to say, now that Just Flight are here, big thank you to you guys for giving me this aircraft, of course, to review and allow me to preview for everyone on the channel. Very, very much appreciated. I have some real world pilots here as well that have been helping me out during the course of the stream, and we've sort of found out that the flight model is exceptionally good. Cow flaps open. I need to watch where I'm going here. There we are. And there we are. Right, okay, thank you, Carl. Once we stop here, I can take a better look at chat. But yeah, flight model seems very, very good. It stores, according to Carl here, who has hours on the real Duchess, very, very accurately. So that's brilliant. And it has been an absolute joy to fly here. Definitely be using it to help with my own real life training. Can't wait to get this. Oh yeah, January the 30th. It comes out Tuesday. Normally we've opened them on downwind. Right, okay, I got you. So we'll park here on the left. I believe this is a Pfizer hangar actually here at Trenton. So we'll go ahead and park here on the left. We'll open the checklist. Oh, and you can move this EFB around as well, so let me show you that as we stop here. Okay, so park and brake is set. So now to go to the engine. So we didn't do all this. Well, we did kind of, but I'm just going to tick through this. Shutdown, flaps retract. We have done fuel pumps off. Avionics off. Mixtures idle cutoff. There we are. Propellers low RPM. Magneto start switches off. Lovely sounds. Battery alternator switch off. We can turn all the lights off here now and all this stuff. And the wheel chocks And there's more stuff here as well. Look at that. Engine failure. Ooh. Engine failure. Look at that, guys. Is that not just amazing? There's a spin checklist here, involuntary spin checklist. Manual gear extension, which was just down here. There we are. And yeah, end of checklist. Brilliant. So let's go here to aircraft options, ground equipment on, and there we are. All the ground equipment is there. Right, let me take a quick look through chat then, and then we'll take a look at the scenery. Can't wait to get this. Yep. Normally we'd open those on downwind. I find this to be very close to the real Duchess. That's very good to hear, Carl. I have about 500 hours in a Duchess. Well, high 500s, 400s, like 490. No, I'm very impressed with this aircraft. Like I said, maybe you know these textures down here could be slightly higher resolution. Again, it may be my system compressing them. But other than that, external textures very nice. Sounds, I think everyone's absolutely loved the sounds. We've had plenty of comments on the sounds. Very nice. FPS is great, and it just handles like a dream. And obviously we have had Carl here who's attested to the accuracy of all the stalls and things like that. So that's been absolutely brilliant. So again, a big thank you to Just Flight for letting me preview this aircraft for you guys. I've really enjoyed showing it to you. But now, let's go ahead and take a quick look at this scenery here. So this is Trenton, and this is a completely free scenery. Also make sure to check out the billboards around the airport. I think you'll like one of them a lot. I will take a quick look. Eat Aussie. So he is the developer as well, by the way. So thank you very much for being here. And this was just a freeware scenery I found through the Explain Discord, and I thought it is brilliant and perfect for this stream here today. And again, this whole author tile was provided with the install. But lovely textures here, as you can see. Very nice. I love these tar lines here, and you know, the way they reflect. It's just beautiful. So nice. We've got all this 3D grass here. You know, we've got all the markings you'd expect. All these runway. Look, we've got a slightly more used runway here. Just looks very nice. Payware quality. Got some custom buildings here. So the Army National Guard. Very nice custom building, as you can see here. This was a Pfizer hangar, I believe. We've got some more custom buildings over here. What's this? Flight Serve FBO. There we are. Very nice PBR texturing here as well. Right, so windsock. Looks like we've got the control tower here. Now Frontier, I believe, do fly into here with their 320s, and they were parking up over here with Traffic Global. So as you can see, so if you do want to fly the, you know, tow this A320 in here, then 100% do, and I know I will be, because this is, I just love the textures. You know, honestly, very nice. Freeway Airport, link is in the description. Let's take a look at the billboards then. So looks like we got one here, or Hornet Aircraft Designs, Pelston Regional Airport. Right, some more stuff here. Blue Games, that's very nice. The Blue Experience. Blue Games, of course, a fellow X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Sim content creator. So that's very cool. There's some more here. Q8 pilot. All right. Okay. Well, Q8, here you are. I think you're on stream, aren't you? There you are. You're in the scenery, I suppose. Brilliant. Let's have a look at some more billboards around here. Ozzy, you might have to let me know where they are if I miss any. Again, I had no FPS hit using this aircraft. It was sorry, the scenery, but also the aircraft. The fans are speaking. Enough is enough. There we are. See this level of quality. All these billboards. We've got another one here. It's an aircraft with the NOP on it. Jet Set Designs. Wow. Oh, Dave, I don't know why it's done that. It's the full caps. So I think, guys, if you're going to put something in chat, don't use all caps because Nightbot doesn't like it. Mostly around the roads, immediately around the airport. All right, so we saw this one, didn't we? Yes. And there's more airport. There's more billboards around here, maybe. Is there one here? So this is the blue. Is that all of them, Aussie? Yeah, very, very nice steering. I just had to show it off, especially for freeware. You know, nice general aviation and some Frontier ops here as well. Yeah, no worries, Dave. Yeah, that's just Nightbot doing Nightbot things. But yeah. So, thoughts on the aircraft are very good. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. I mean, if you know, if Carl is saying that it's very accurate and compared to real life, then that is more than enough for me. And everyone else, you know, Dougal, Dave, all of you guys have been very helpful today on the stream. So thank you very much for the support there. By 24th, which direction is that, Eosman? I'm not familiar with the area. Have you seen Trenton in real life? No, I've only ever been to the US once, and that was Tampa, Florida. I've never been here in real life, but it just looks nice. The quality is so good. But yeah, just like Duchess, very, very nice aircraft, and do please pick it up if you do want to, you know, this trainer twin engine aircraft with a constant speed propeller, of course, from Just Flight and Thrander. I think the price is actually pretty good as well. So yeah, I think we've looked at Northern Part runway 24. 24. And Northern. Am I in the right direction? No, yeah, no, this is Trenton in the US. Yeah, absolutely. Is it this one that you wanted me to look at? The in-up sign, maybe? To the right of 24. To the right of 24 if approaching. So over here. Am I just blind? Am I not? I can't see another billboard. Where is it? Can anyone else spot it? To the right of 24 if approaching. Do you just mean this one? Okay, no worries. But yeah, thank you for the scenery. It is brilliant. Do keep up the good work there. And the same to Just Flight. What an amazing aircraft. Thank you very much for letting me preview it. So I think that's it, guys. I'm going to be jumping over to the Q8 stream in just half an hour. He's flying the MD-11. So that should be good fun. Thank you all for being here. Again, big thank you to Just Flight, to Carl, Dave, Chris, Dougal, Ozzyman, all of you guys for being here with me today. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.